Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for January the 3rd. I'm going to be pulling one card for each sign. So if you know your sun sign, you can get a little bit of information with this video. If you know your sun, moon, and rising, you get a little more. And if you know all your planetary placements, you actually can get quite a bit of information from a short little video like this. Thank you guys very much for participating in the contest and putting comments down below this video. I do appreciate that. And also thank you for putting thumbs ups and shares on this video as well. And of course, thank you to those of you who are booking private readings and private Reiki sessions with me. It's because of all of you guys' support that I get to do what I love to do for my living. I don't quite feel like I'm done shuffling yet. I'm done talking, but I'm not done shuffling. Must be a lot going on today. That's kind of what this is an indication of if I'm still shuffling. All right, I think we're ready. I think we're ready now. Okay, so first card up, Aries. You guys have the Moon card showing up. The Moon card is a card that talks about the idea that there is something going on that is not well known. It is kind of kept secret. And for me, for this card, I really think that it is you that is keeping some secrets right now, because we can see into these towers when we look at your cards, Aries. So I think there's something going on where you are keeping something secret from other people. Yep. All right. Next up, let's look at Taurus. Taurus, you guys have the Four of Wands showing up in reverse. To me, this talks about the idea of really going away from home. This could either be you going away from home, or somebody in your sphere of influence going away from home. And this also applies to when it's not literally the home. A lot of times it applies to other places where we may feel at home. So the office, you may be leaving the office, or somebody else may be leaving the office. Something like that could be going on. And then the other way that this card can come up for me, for some of you, Taurus, this is going to talk about some type of short-term separation between you and somebody important to you. Now, the Four of Wands for me is a separation that is just temporary. It's not a permanent thing. You may not know that at the time that the separation initially starts, or many times you do, but you don't always. And so if this is something that happens today where there's a separation between you and somebody that you care about greatly, and it seems like maybe this is forever, don't stress out about it. It's not forever. There will be a coming back together. Okay, so that's for Taurus. Next up, let's look at Gemini. Geminis. You guys, I want to say this is the Justice card, the back of the Justice card. Is that it? Yep, that is. Okay. So Geminis, what I'm really picking up from this card is that you are tired. Geminis, I think you may have been playing mediator or negotiator. You may have been trying to bring something into some kind of fair resolution or into some type of fair situation, and you're just really tired from trying to bring that fairness around. It may be time to take a rest from your involvement. You know, it may be time to just step back from whatever negotiation or whatever is happening for you where you're trying to bring fairness to a situation. It may be time to put down the scales and just take a break. Take a break. All right, next up, who was that? That was Gemini. Next up, we have Cancer. So Cancers, what we have here is the Lover's card showing up in reverse. This is telling me that there is the breaking up of some kind of partnership that you're involved in today, Cancer. And the way this card looks to me, like this, I think that this is something that is toxic, that is being torn apart. So there's somebody that you're having a hard time being on the same page with, and it looks like today may be the day that that toxicness, that toxic situation is removed from your experience, whether you're removing it or they are. For me, the Lover's card like this is kind of a mutual, I can't see things the way you see things type of card. So it's not really one person or the other saying, okay, we're done with this. It's more of we're just not on the same page. Okay? So something toxic, I think, really, some type of toxic partnership just coming apart, just not functioning anymore. Okay? So that was for Cancer. Next up, let's look at Leo. Leos, you guys have the Hanged Man showing up in reverse. Now for me, the Hanged Man in reverse is a card that talks about coming to a solution, coming to a resolution about a situation that maybe you really didn't know what to do with before. Okay? And so now you're finding that solution and resolution, and you're able to move forward now. So this talks about moving forward on a situation that you might have felt paralyzed before, knowing that you've got a good solid direction to go with this forward movement. So we like that, Leo. Next up, we're looking at Virgo. You guys have the Three of Cups showing up in reverse. Three of Cups in reverse really talks about the idea that, at least this card for me, talks about the idea that somebody that you thought was your friend really is not. There's somebody who really is using you, taking advantage of you for what you can give to them, and yet we don't see them returning anything to you, especially in this card in the reverse. We can see where, you've brought out supplies for a snack or a picnic or something, and where, their cups, they've got fish jumping out of them, so they're taking away from whatever it is that you're bringing to the table here. So it could be that, they're just taking your energy, your advice. Maybe they're depleting you. They could be psychic vampire type of situations. Or they could be, using you for the material resources that you have. They could be using you for information. There's a lot of different ways that this could play out, but this is a good day to be aware of what's going on around you, and especially in those relationships that you consider relationships with friends. Make sure that the people that you consider friends really are your friends. Okay. Now, who was that? That was Virgo. Next up, let's look at Libra. Libra, as you guys have the Judgment card showing up right side up, this just means that something from the past that you used to participate in, you have the opportunity to participate in that again. And so looks to me like this is coming up at a good time for you. It seems like a good opportunity. And so you are moving forward with whatever that was that got set on the back burner in the past. Next up, we're looking at Scorpio. Scorpio. What do we have here? All right, so Six of Wands showing up in reverse. This is really telling me, Scorpios, that there's something that we've been involved in that not only benefits ourselves, but also benefits others as well. And whatever this is, it's something that we accomplished, but we also didn't accomplish it alone. We accomplished it with the help of others. And for me, this card basically says that we are deflecting any kind of compliments or praise or appreciation to those others who helped us as well. We're saying, hey, couldn't have done this without the team. These people were involved too. Make sure that you show appreciation to them too, because it's not just me. Okay, so not only are we receiving some kind of appreciation, we are also making sure that the other people involved get appreciation as well. Okay, so that's for Scorpio. Next up, let's look at Sagittarius. Nine of Swords, Sagittarius. This just tells me that you may be feeling really limited or constricted right now. And it looks to me like that limitation or that restriction really has a lot more to do with you than with anything else, and with your thoughts. This, for me, the Nine of Swords in this deck really strikes me as very similar to what an Eight of Swords would be in another deck. But it just seems to me like you're not able to see things as they really are because you're too busy. Your own thoughts have so much of your attention. Your own perception has so much of your attention that it's hard for you to be objective and to look at things in an objective view. The worries, the concerns, the negatives seem to be highlighted right now. The restrictions are highlighted right now. So, you know, whenever you feel this energy coming in, you want to make a concentrated effort on trying to be objective and trying to look at something other than the negative stuff, because we don't want that to take up our focus. All right, so that's Sagittarius. Next up, Capricorn. Capricorns, you guys have the Knight of Cups showing up in reverse. Is that the Knight? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say this is the Page because he doesn't have a horse. So we've got the Page of Cups showing up in reverse. This is interesting how this depicts with the turtle coming up at the top of the card whenever we've got it in reverse. To me, what's going on here is we have gotten some kind of news that has kind of put us out of touch with our own intuition and with our own hopes. Whatever this news is, we're kind of feeling like it means that we can't move forward with our dreams or we can't move forward with our hopes. And so it's interesting that this turtle is swimming behind the person, because to me a turtle symbolizes life and vitality and good health. And so if we have that swimming behind the person and he's not looking at it, this is telling me that this news is kind of taking our eyes off of the good things. And there are a lot of good things that are still there. So we want to try to, if we catch ourselves feeling like there's no hope for us as we move forward, we want to definitely start looking for reasons why there is hope, because they're there. But we just have to look for them. Okay, that's Capricorn. Next up, let's look at Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, Page of Wands. Once again, no man on a horse. Page of Wands showing up here. Interesting how we've got the rising phoenix in the background. Definitely fiery phoenix there. We also have some brighter stars that are sort of pointing the way. So this is telling me that you are having some kind of inspired idea, some kind of direction, and that this is an idea that is going to bring things back from what might have looked to be dead, bring them back to life. So, this is a little bit of, having an opportunity about something from the past. Only I think you're creating that opportunity actually more than just having it show up. And also really following your intuition, following that inner guidance as you move forward, because it does look like you're resurrecting something that probably everybody else thought was dead and done. Okay, and that was Aquarius. Next up, let's look at Pisces. Okay, so Pisces, we're looking at the back of the devil right here. What is going on with this card? We have some red candles lit. We've got a lot of fire around here. Interesting that we have fire sort of burning up the Book of Secrets here. So to me, this is really talking about that Pisces, you may be having trouble seeing clearly. You may be having trouble with your intuition. To me, this is kind of associated with the High Priestess. This is Secrets of the Universe type of book. So I think you're having a hard time seeing a way out of a situation right now. And that's because you're really having a hard time being objective. So this may be a good time to, go to a friend, someone that you can trust, and talk about your situation to help you figure out what is a good resolution here. Because I think with all of this fire around and just with that book being up in flames, whatever knowledge or information you have, I think you're having a hard time actually accessing it and tapping into it. And I know that you're very intuitive, so I really think that there's a lot of feelings going on. There's probably a lot of drama and chaos going on around you that is keeping you from tapping into that intuition like what you normally would. So good time to get a reading from somebody else who is more objective, who's not in the middle of the situation. Good time to step back and find some objectivity yourself. If you're moving forward on a trajectory that seems too fast, this may be a good time to slow that down and start considering things before you just feel yourself propelled forward. Hold up that propelling. All right, so that's what I've got for everybody. Thank you guys very much for being here today. I do appreciate it, and I will see you guys back on the next video. Peace out.